Hello everyone, my name is Brenton Melville. I have been working with Paynode since 2014. However, for the last year and a half, I have been working as our payment solutions manager on our payment platform Paynode, which I want to introduce and talk about a little bit today. Before I get into Paynode, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the challenges and pain points that exist in air charter today, specifically around when it comes to making payments and getting paid. And then I'll go into introducing Paynode and discuss what we are doing to address some of these issues to make a more streamlined payment process. Some of you already use Paynode today, some of you may not, but I hope at the end of all of this you will all have a bit better understanding of everything that it is we offer and where we are going with Paynode and how it will be able to help you all in your payment flows. So, some of the different issues that our customers have with payments today. We have companies who only have the possibility to get paid via bank transfer wire. No credit card guarantees possible, and if the money's not in the account, they cannot fly. Obviously that creates issues for last minute bookings or weekend trips. Leaning on from that, if you are going to fly with a customer when the money hasn't arrived yet, having to vet that company and being able to do due diligence on will they actually be able to pay. It's very difficult to do that, even if it's a company you've worked with a couple of times. Still, you never really know, so that always becomes an issue. And having to chase down payment, particularly if it's post-trip, is very time-consuming, and feedback that we have from finance personnel is it's one of the most time-consuming things that they do. So if they could avoid that, they would save a lot of time. And finally, we do see from time to time different fraud attempts happening in the industry. This is one member's solution on what they do, essentially having two bank accounts and emptying one of them at the end of the night. This is obviously a way to reduce their risk exposure, but not really an ideal way of working. So this next slide looks at getting paid the traditional way. So I'll just run through that. We have a client up here who is looking to book a trip. Could be with a broker or it could be with an operator. After the initial quote, there's several interactions back and forth. So we have a contract that gets exchanged and signed, followed by either capturing the client's credit card information or giving them your wire details. Again, lots of back and forth. Normally these documents are exchanged in an insecure manner. Once we have the credit card information, normally it's a manual process to either key these numbers in to our own processor or send out a payment link from a third-party system. So some double entry happening there. And then, of course, tracking the payment statuses in different systems. So whether they're paid by credit card or a bank wire, having to track the status of payments in different systems, and then manually reconciling the trip to the existing payment. Again, if you have multiple payments coming in every day, having to match those up, sometimes is easy, sometimes is not as straightforward. And finally, once you know the trip is paid, the finance are sending out notifications to the charter sales team, to the operations team, anyone who needs to know that this trip is paid. This is all done manually. So what we are trying to do with Paynode is to simplify this process. So if we have the same situation again, we have a client who wants to book a trip. With a couple of clicks directly from the workflow, we're able to request payment, send a contract out and request payment, offering multiple different ways to pay. So the client can choose how they want to pay. Now, because the payment is already connected to a trip, the reconciliation is done automatically, as well as instant real-time notifications are sent out to everyone involved in the transaction who needs to know. So really making a more seamless and streamlined process compared to that last slide we just saw. The second thing that we are doing with Paynode is simplifying international transfers. So everyone who registers with Paynode will get set up with 3 separate local bank accounts. USD, GBP, and Euro. These are not just accounts that are currency accounts that you can have with your regular bank in USD, but these are accounts that are physically based in the geographical regions, which means that for a European operator, you now have a US dollar account based in the US, which means that you can send and receive local wire transfers, meaning you can get paid in 2 or 3 hours via a local USD wire, rather than the 2 or 3 days that it might traditionally take for that international payment to come across. So not only is it increasing the speed to get paid, but also it doesn't cost anything to receive wires like this. So simplifying the workflow, simplifying international payments. The last thing that we are doing with Paynode, which is really what we are most excited about, something that we call instant payments, which is anyone who is using Paynode has the ability to instantly pay any other member 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So whether it's a weekend booking or last minute, with the click of a button, the broker can send payment to an operator. All parties are notified, and everyone can see that it's instantly paid. No need for a proof of payment or anything else like that. If it happens to be that the broker is in the US and they need to pay a European client, there is in-system FX as well. So you can use those to transfer to euros at very competitive rates before ultimately paying the operator in the currency that they want to get paid in. However, as I said, we have this only works instant if both parties are using Paynode. However, if you need to pay someone who is not on Paynode, we still have the possibility to send local bank wires. Local bank wires outgoing in the US, Euro, and GBP as well. Just to show where we are right now and how far we've come with Paynode, we started at the very end of 2020 with around 40 launched members. This time last year, we were around 120. And as of today, we're around 260 companies using the platform. So every week, more companies get activated. They're a larger network. And of course, the more people who use, the more people you can pay, the more valuable it should be for everyone. I'm actually very excited to see what this will look like in 12 months' time, to see where we go. So anybody who is listening who is not yet on the platform today, would say please come and have a chat to any of our account managers. I'll grab myself after the session. I'll be happy to have a chat and see how it is that you may be able to use this to make things a bit easier for yourself. It doesn't cost anything to join, and it doesn't cost anything to receive an instant payment, but it's just a matter of getting registered and being approved by our financial partners. That takes me to the end of the presentation. So if anyone had any questions, I'm happy to take them afterwards. Thank you.